Welcome everyone. My name is Linda Evenden. This is one of my favourite events called Girls Just Want to Have Funs. And in this event, I just love to share a way that we are really helping women create more yes in their life. Create that extra income, create more time flexibility, maybe around kids, maybe around travel. Really coming together and finding a way that we can support each other in creating a lifestyle that we really, really dream of. And what I found in over the 10 years that I've been working from home and empowering other women to do that, some of the number one reasons that women are looking for something like this is really so we get the end game, which is more time to do the things that we want to do with the people that we care about the most. And so more than ever, even after 10 years, I'm so passionate about helping women of all ages, all stages, all backgrounds, really harness that for themselves. So today, I love this event because we always have people tune in from all over the world, which is the online world now, which is so fantastic. And my favorite part of this event is really the stories. We're going to give you some cool info. We're going to answer some common questions around, can you really work from home? Is it profitable? Do you need to know many? Do you need to be online savvy? All that good stuff. The thing that will last with you is the heartfelt stories of why others first started out to do this and what they've been able to create in their life since saying yes. So I'm going to start off with a little bit about, with any great business, you need a really great product. You need a product that people need, that is tried and proven. It has to be well priced. It has to be something that people not only love and want to stay on, you want that word of mouth marketed, right? You want that shareability about the product. So of course it has to work, and you want people to really understand that it's a product that they need. And this was my first passion and love when I fell in love with the Juice Plus company, was really the products. I was a product raving fan and user first and foremost. Well before I actually honestly believed that I could create a business around it, I really fell in love with the products. And so the thing that I love the most about the Juice Plus products is it's just fruits and veggies. That's it. It's Mother Nature at its very best, harnessed in the best possible way. And the Juice Plus company 25 years ago, they were so ahead of the curve on knowing what kale was and how good it is for us. But really, I love that this company, all they're doing is harnessing what we know to be true of Mother Nature. And I think we all know what we do eat on a daily basis and what we should eat, and that most of us, in reality, we have a bit of a gap. So even on a good day as a nutrition coach, I know that I'm mostly eating the same usual suspects in my trolley and in the cupboard, and then eventually in the veggie graveyard in the bottom of my crisper most weeks. I start out with the best intentions. Can anyone resonate here? But by the end of the week, there's a few floppy veggies in that graveyard. So I was always on the lookout for the mum hacks. I have 3 kids, and I wanted something that would taste great, that everyone would be able to use, something that was safe was very important for me, something that was all natural, no synthetics and no nasties, and something that as a family we could all enjoy. So affordability 10 years ago especially was key to me. Is this something that I can afford to stay on, and what are the benefits going to be? So really quickly, Mother Nature harness kind of looks like this. So when you look at Mother Nature, everything's color-coded with so much vibrancy. All of the foods that we should be eating are harnessing the colors of the rainbow. And so the company, this one is 10 veggies, 10 fruit, 10 berries, and then we've got, I think it's 8 or 9 different omegas, plant good fats that I'll get to as well. So the company have really worked out where the best growing regions are for each of these fruits and veggies and berries. So there's things like kale, cabbage, parsley, spinach, You know, there's quinoa, millet, spirulina, acerola cherry, yucca powder, elderberry, bilberry, all these things that are just phenomenal for our health, have high antioxidants, healing, repair, protection, all the greatness that we want to harness from Mother Nature every day come in these incredible superfoods. But when we look at it, when was the last time you ate alfalfa sprout? Right? You know that it's good for you, but it's something that you just don't get around to. So I love that the company harnessed a way to pick these superfoods at the peak of ripeness. They're grown in the very best quality soil, that's living soil, and it's still with the living enzymes intact, so it's raw. It's like the cold pressed juice. At the peak of vibrancy, it's captured, and then they simply found a way so cleverly to remove the water. So what you're left with in these, actually today we've got some capsules in here. Now if you smell this, it's a bit funky, which is great. It's great because when you have these powders, these whole food concentrated powders in a capsule, I don't have to taste it. If I open this up and put it in water, then it's kind of the hold the nose thing. It tastes like pond. But guess what? That's where all of the amazing nutrients are for us. So I love that they were encapsulated for me and the family. Also, once the whole foods are, like pond, Bronte, for sure. You know what I mean? But it's so good for you. All of this green, algae, spirulina, the stuff that just tastes bad is the superfoods that we need way, way more of. So what I love that the company did was they kept the living enzymes intact. So this is what separates Juice Plus from any other multivitamin that's synthetic and man-made, any other whole food powder that comes in a jar that's oxidating over time. This is as close to the living whole food as possible. So by the time it hits your gut, it's 100% absorbed. You don't pee it out. And literally, it's like harnessing the best of 3 extra cold-pressed juices over the day. Okay, so you get the concept. It's fruit and veggies in a capsule. It's pretty phenomenal, right? The other thing that I love to mention for those who have kids or who know a kid, right, is this company's commitment to kids' health. So it's called the Healthy Starts program. And this is what got me really curious about the company and the business behind Juice Plus, is the commitment to kids' health. So for every adult that says yes to adding to their vitality and starting to eat Juice Plus every day, one child gets their Juice Plus free along with the adult. How cool is that? And it's not just for one box, one try. It's actually a 4-year commitment from this phenomenal company that we get to work with. So most mums choose the gummies, the chewable version. So the company simply take those, the concentrated whole food powders, mix them with tapioca, and then you get this yummy gummy chewable form that my kids have just grown up on. And of course, how would you expect to feel, I like to make this interactive, if you were adding in 30 extra whole foods into your diet? If you were getting, kale, spinach, parsley, cabbage, mango, acerola cherry, pineapple, all these great things into your system every single day, what effects would you expect to feel over the coming weeks and months? It's not a quick fix. It's not a Band-Aid. What we notice is a catalyst. It kind of just starts to bring these incredible palate changes. You start drinking more water. You start sleeping better and pooping better. You crave more crunch. You actually upgrade your craving to whole foods. Healthy, deep from the inside, better digestion, energy. For me, my skin, this is another really common thing, hair, skin and nails, upgraded in my first few months. My immune system became so much stronger. For those of you that love proof, I'm a research geek. Any others out there? Scanning quickly. There's a higher percentage than usual. There's usually 1 or 2 of us science geeks. Juice Plus is the most researched product on the planet, not only in the nutraceutical field, of all products on the planet that have ever been investigated thoroughly. I'm talking gold standard, double-blind, peer-reviewed, highest journal impact score, the real deal. There's over 38 published peer-reviewed medical journals proving what Juice Plus does in your body over 4 months, which is pretty exciting. In mum terms, in ladies' terms, it's the glow, it's the vitality, it's 4 times more immune function. It is clarity of mind. It is the skin glow, the vibrancy. There's so many of those things that you've all mentioned there on how you would expect to feel harnessing a better diet. This helps bridge the gap. This makes doing your better diet so much easier. In 17 seconds, I win the day. I win it with my kids and I win it with myself. So whether we're having a great day of extra whole foods and veggies, or maybe it's one of those grab and go days, our family's covered. Okay. The only other product that we have is our omegas. Again, we skip the fish. No yucky fish burps. No, rancid oils. Can you imagine, just for a second, this is so freaky, can you imagine how much fish they have to squeeze to extract oil from? It's pretty freaky. We know what's happening to the oceans and overfishing, but more importantly, we skip the fish and we go straight to the algae, which is where the fish get their good fats from. So this is a pretty incredible vegan product that's for anti-inflammatory benefits, brain health, clarity of mind, the list goes on with that as well. And I call these little packets here our complete. I call this my nutrition dust. It's literally whole foods, same thing. I use these as a grab and go shake. I can simply add water and ice, and I harness again another 25 whole foods. Things like quinoa, spelt millet, pumpkin seed, pomegranate, the list goes on, but it tastes great. The kids, for this is their healthy chocolate milk, and it's my power food. Special mention to our mental health, which is, I don't know about you, but I feel like on the planet we've never been at a time with such scary mental health statistics. This is chock full of natural niacin, which is Mother Nature's happy pill. It's like the happy vitamin and mineral that we need more of. So I call these my happy shakes for obvious reasons as well. So there are products, everyone. I knew when I looked at these products and they make a difference to my health, I started sharing it. And that's when I knew that there was a really great business opportunity behind it. I want to get someone else's product story. For me, it was no more sinusitis. I might get that once every few years where I get, 3 or 4 days of sinusitis. I used to be on antibiotics for weeks. I used to suffer really severe migraines every 4 to 6 weeks and used to be on all of the preventative medication for that. That was my game changer with this product. It gave me back my certainty of no longer being hostage on anti-migraine medication. But I'm also going to cross to Denise. Did you have a product story, honey? I'm just going to pin you at the moment. And can you unmute yourself? Can we hear you?
Sure thing.
Yay. Yep, I can hear you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me on, and really nice to see all these beautiful, smiling, healthy faces. So my story is that I'm Denise, and I was a health and physical education teacher before I jumped into this Juice Plus business. And so, as Linda was saying, I've really watched a decline in the health and knowledge around health amongst my students at school. And what they thought was a reasonable thing to bring to school in the morning, a can of energy drink and a bag of chips. And when I asked them, is that your breakfast? And they looked at me like, of course. So when these products came along, they just made so much sense to me. I'd been teaching about the power of fruits and veggies all of my teaching career, over 30 years. And yeah, just the simplicity of these products were amazing. So when they came into our lives, my partner Greg had a history of high cholesterol that had been going up for 10 years and nothing was working. He was trying fish oil. He thought he'd heard that was good. In hindsight now, we know it was doing nothing. The doctors were threatening to put him on prescription medication, and we'd looked at the side effects of that and we were not prepared to go down that track. And Juice Plus came into our lives just at that time. And so Greg and I jumped onto the products immediately, so much energy and vitality. And for Greg, when he went back to get his bloods tested again for the first time in 10 years, his cholesterol had stopped going up. And we had made, we still led a healthy lifestyle the whole way through this. but now we kind of had some quantitative evidence for us. And so that's what the products have done for us. It's been 3 years now. In fact, yesterday, 1st of September, 3 years ago, I started these products, and I have never felt more healthy in my whole life. I'm about to turn 55, and I can honestly say I feel better than I did in my 30s and my 40s, and I will be on these products for life, and I will be forever grateful that I stumbled across them. Thanks, Linda.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, honey. Yeah, look, we never know what Juice Plus is going to do, right? We don't claim it's a miracle pill and all these things are going to happen. What we do know is that with our program and our products, so you don't just get products and good luck, hope and pray that you do well with them. We take our customers, our clients on an education journey, and we help them upgrade the pantry. We help them shred some bad habits and add in some good ones. So the catalyst effect of more vitality and all of these great changes across the family are pretty exciting. So I love that story. Thank you, Denise. So as I said, behind every great product is a great business opportunity. And so, you know, the mission behind Juice Plus, this is one of the world's largest whole food companies on the planet. As I said, it's the world's most researched, and we've got the biggest selling wellness product on the planet, which is our whole food capsules here. And so when I took a look at the business, in all honesty, I love the idea of working from home and creating another income. I had some reservations on could I really do it. I definitely had some reservations. I'd moved back to Australia at the time. I had 3 kids under 3.5. And let's face it, for those that are parents out there, you may resonate with this. It was all my effort to just get the house in order, let alone how could I do a business as well. So I definitely had some questions around, do I know lots of people? Is this a legitimate model where I can actually really create a consistent income? Is it something that, you know, I need to know a lot of skills? Am I going to have to invest a lot of time? So I want to go over those with you. And, you know, I saw some stories. I saw some things that helped me understand really quickly the business that is behind these products and the mission. And so what I love and what you've heard today is just stories and sharing. So I understood, I already loved the product. And my friend said to me, you know what, you already do what we do. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you've already got 7 people started on Juice Plus because you shared your story. And so 7 people, this $300 extra a month could actually be yours, Linda. And that's where I went, what? $300 extra a month? That was a game changer for me back then, right? We were on one income. So that's when I took a proper look at the business. One of the first things that I did want to understand was, how does this business model work? So to cover that really quick, what does this look like? I had come from traditional business. So I had worked in, this is one of the most typical kind of models of normal business, right? So banks are like this, religions are like this, franchises are like this, and I certainly worked in this business model. So there's usually a CEO, there's a top position at the very top, and there's entry positions starting from scratch at the bottom, and then there's all kind of management positions in between. So when I first started in a corporate career, I started on the phones in Telstra when I was at university. I quickly rose to the ranks of a sales manager. I then went into public relations, and then I got up to the upper level of management, and then guess what? It got so stressful and so competitive, and I only got a minimal pay rise here for way extra responsibility, and I reached a level in my early career where I couldn't stand the competition anymore. The less positions, the more cutthroat and competitive it was. And what I observed was there was only 3 women in Telstra. This is a company that at that time had 50,000 plus employees. There were only 3 women in these top positions. And I looked at them, and with all due respect, they were incredible women, but I didn't want that job, and I didn't admire and respect how they went about it. So I thought, where do I go to from here? So I thought owning my own business was the next simple way to do that, right? I thought, this is where all my freedom is going to lie. I need to be at the top of the business, right? This is where all the money will be. And guess what? Same challenges. Now you've got all of the responsibility, lots of employees, lots of responsibilities, lots of risk going out, lots of bills to be paying, and very little time flexibility, and a huge sense of responsibility for everyone and everything. So James and I, my husband and I, we won big in this model and we lost big in this model. We actually went through the global financial crisis and we had to start again in our own business again. So you can understand, when I first looked at this business, I wanted certainty. I wanted to know that there was no big risk, there was no big downside. I wanted it to be easy so I could do it in stolen moments. So what I found was, and this is what I love about this business, that I'm still so passionate about, anyone can start this business. Anyone can do this business. It doesn't matter your age, your skill set, your background, your level of time that you can invest in this, how many people you know, all of that doesn't matter. Everyone starts off at the same position and it's a level playing field. I loved that. I just thought that that was so fantastic. And what I soon found was that there's an equal opportunity, whether you come in and you want to create an extra $300 a month, which was me, right? Just a few part-time hours each month. You can do that pretty easily. We have a tried and proven training system that shows you exactly how to gather your first clients and how to gather possibly your first team if you have a bigger vision to grow. And that there was also room for people who might want to create $5,000 extra a month of full-time income, you know, around their family, around what they were doing. And I saw plenty of examples of that as well, right? Mothers just like me, staying from home, working from home, able to create this full-time income. And then I also saw, because there's a big part of me that always wanted to stay traveling the world, that had big vision and unlimited. I've always had that as part of me. I loved that there was also this unlimited part of this business where your reward and your work ethic can be matched by your income. So I loved the stories of multiple six-figure earners who were able to retire their husbands and who had created global teams of thousands. I just loved that. It set my heart on fire. And so even though I started here having no idea if I would get to here, I loved that all of these stories existed in between, and that you go at your own pace. It's your own business. You're in business for yourself, but never by yourself. And that there's a tried and proven system that coaches you every single step of the way on how to create what you want specifically. So I loved that. Now, remember, my other big question that I had, girls, was, do I need to know lots of people? I didn't get out much back then because my hair was a mess. I could barely have a shower some days, let's face it. And we were broke. We were on one income. So even when I did go somewhere, it was like, you know, planning when I could afford a coffee or not. It was pretty tragic back then. So here's my exact story of how I got started. Once I understood, it wasn't about knowing lots of people. My friend Lauren said, Linda, do you know any other mothers who are at home right now who would love a $200 or $300 extra a month, just like you? And I said, I do know a few. And they were my friends whose kids were doing gymnastics class with my girls. So guess what? I shared it with Davina and I said, I found out a way that I can make this extra $300. It's taking a product that I love and I'm going to share it. And she said, well, I want some of that too. Can I earn $300 a month? I said, I think so. Lauren's going to teach us, see what we can do. Of course, our friend Davina, who we would have coffee with. Now, girls, we were all so broke at that time on one income, working around our kids. We had to split the cake, the coffee and cake deal. I'm not even kidding. I totally remember the conversation with these girls about what if you can earn $300 too. This is how cool this business is. So I only knew Davina. I started here. Jane joined as well. Davina was a talker. Guess what? By the end of the week, she had talked to her friend and her sister in Tassie, and she had another sister who lived in New Zealand. And guess what? By the end of that week, this lady in New Zealand and another lady in Tasmania had a real estate agency. She was a talker. Within my first few weeks, We had a whole tribe of women who were interested in creating another 300 to 500 a week. And this is where I understood, oh, wow, this really is a system. And it's just about finding a few people like me who might be interested in the same things that I am. And so pretty soon, you don't need to know lots of people. So it's a business of teaching and sharing. It's not sales. I know so many of you are saying, that sounds great, Linda, but I don't like selling, right? All we do is share our story, our real, authentic story. You don't have to go selling and chasing and convincing. You share your story, and your story attracts people who are looking for the same thing. Okay, we'll teach you that. Now, imagine this. 3 people. I knew 3 people, and I started off with that. And then pretty soon my sister, my sister-in-law, and so it grew on and on. Oh, sorry. Sorry, guys. So 3 people, this is where this blew my mind, and I totally understood that maybe I could create that 5,000 a month. And here's how. If you know 3 people that know 3 people, well, there's 9. If 9 people know 3 people and train up 3 people, there's 27 people. Watch what happens when over time, not all at once, not in your first day, but over time, you share with 5 people. And then all you do is entice them and train them and help them see that over time they will know 5 people as well. 5 becomes 25. 25 people teach 5 people, that becomes 1 to 5. And so it goes. Do you get that you don't need 125 people in your team to create this extra residual income? But it happens pretty quickly. So I'm going to bring one of the stories to life because you've heard a bit of mine. But I'm going to go over to Karen. Where are you, beautiful? I know I'm putting you on the spot today, which I love to do. There she is.
I'm here.
So share with us, Karen, you know, what attracted you to saying yes, and what's your experience been so far?
Okay, well, I'm almost coming up to my 4-year anniversary of saying yes. Life for me 4 or 5 years ago was I was under a lot of stress. I'm a single mum. I have a almost now 16-year-old and almost now 14-year-old. So they're a little bit younger, still in primary school. But what I found, I had created myself a work from home opportunity, working for myself. But what I realized, I'd created myself a job. But the thing is, I didn't have employees, anything to deal with. But if I didn't work and I didn't get paid, you know, I couldn't take holidays, and I was feeling really stressed financially. But more importantly, my health started to decline, and massive. I was critically anemic, and had massive fibroids. So not only did the products help, but when I took a closer look at the business, I realized that this was a business where over time, I saw the big vision right off. You know, it wasn't just an overnight quick fix type of thing. I saw what was possible over time that would give me freedom and flexibility, because like you, Linda, I did a lot of traveling when I was younger, and I want to get back to that. But you know, so I was looking towards, you know, heading to, you know, what's happening in my 50s, what's going to happen in my 60s, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be someone who is relying on the pension. I don't want to be someone who is needing to be working 40, 50 hours a week either. But I wanted the flexibility and the freedom. And over those 4 years, what I found is Juice Plus has not only far exceeded my expectations, it's giving me back it's giving me back who I am as a person, as a woman, most importantly, not just a mum working from home. And I have found the support in not only just the training from head office, but within our teams, the people that have gone before us, like Linda, there's just so much support and cheerleading on the side. I never had that working for myself. I didn't have the systems, and it was exhausting. And so connection was big for me. So I've got to connect with some amazing people, you know, and people that I'm working with and helping now in my business, you know, like I didn't know them 4 years ago, and we've become really good friends. But and then of course, you know, the income, that's been great as well. I was able to send my daughter off to the States last year, you know, where a lot of other people were like, no, we can't afford it. I was able to say, yeah, look, you know, we can do this. I was able to send my daughter to the States for 10 days. I've been able to go back on holidays, and over the Christmas period and everything, I'm not as stressed because I know that my Juice Plus income comes in on the 10th of every month, and I'm like, cool, how does it get any better? So that's my story, and you know, I'm looking forward to seeing what the next 4 years will bring.
Oh, you legend. I love it that I just put you on the spot today.
Oh, you're welcome.
You know what? You tick so many boxes in the part that makes sense, and of course it has to make sense, right? It has to add up. But the part that just has me smiling so much, even after 10 years, is when you said who you are as a woman, who you are as like a person to get that back, because there's so much support in helping you do that. That's the part that lights me up all day. I love the money. I love the travel. I love all of that. But honestly, I will never grow tired of hearing women take back that ownership of who they are and what they really want in life, and receiving support and guidance and mentoring. That is so cool. Well done. Thank you, honey.
You're welcome.
Devin, there she is. I'm going to ask you too, honey.
Hello, everyone.
So tell us, Deb, I know you're working full time, but I know there's been many gifts of the business for you. What attracted you to saying yes, and why are you still here lit up so much?
Yeah, honestly, I had no idea that this was even out there. My cousin shared this with me almost 4 years ago as well. Was the program first for my husband's health, but and loved that, obviously. When she offered me the opportunity to look at the business, I was like, nah, that's okay. I'm really loving my job. I'm in hotel management. I've been there for 20 short years, no, 24 actually. And I've worked my way up from, you know, a little waitress to general manager of a hotel. So I'm like, no, that's okay. I'm really very happy. I love working until 3 or 4 in the morning and going back at 8. I love not seeing my kids at night and, you know, not being there in the mornings to see them off to school. All that was great because it was, you know, me being busy was proving that I was a great parent, great mum. It wasn't until this opportunity was even put in front of me that my eyes just opened. It was literally like the dawn of a new day. I just went, oh my goodness, what have I been looking into? Like, how can I have seen that as value for my family? Anyway, I had no idea what this was. I trusted the system. I trusted people around me. I just, as the leader goes, I followed, and I had a really great team under me, like, you know, working with me very quickly, which was excellent because I've got a team at work, but it's really, you know, having to manage people is tiring. Working with people in the same passion and, you know, that just is what lights me up. And in 20 years, I've had a great boss. I'm very respectful of him, very grateful. But in 20 years, you know, we might get a Christmas bonus, but it was like every reward and recognition I got from him was then I was reminded of it time and time again. But remember, I did that for you. Remember, I gave you that. And in this, you know, not once has anyone ever rung me and said, you didn't meet budget. You have to meet this KPI. There's so much pressure. And I'm awake at night thinking about this business because I can't believe that it's in my life and I get to work with so many other people, as opposed to being awake at night wondering how am I going to get through the next day at work. So for me, 4 years in, I will never leave. And the extra money has meant that I've been able to take our family overseas a couple of times. It's renovations on the house and stuff. But honestly, it's just because at the end of a really shitty day at work, I get to come home and be in this kind of environment. And my kids and my husband have got a much better version of me. And you know what? I've never, ever considered leaving hospitality. I never considered being out of the workforce. But now I've got a 5-year plan to be in a caravan with my husband once the kids have finished school in 5 years and actually living life and not having to wait till I'm 70 and hoping that I don't get made redundant in the meantime. So it's the hope that I've got the dream again. I feel alive and I feel empowered. So I'm here forever.
Oh, beautiful. I always love hearing your story because I know the true gift for you, it's well beyond the money. And I remember you saying on training the other night that you've had more reward and recognition and felt seen and heard in this business than 20 years of, you know, another entire industry. And I know that we're not alone with that. I know that so many people feel undervalued and underappreciated. So when you're in business for yourself, but never by yourself, with this volunteer army, we're all in the same boat. It's pretty, you've really brought that benefit to life, honey. Thank you. And we're blessed to have you. You rock, Debbie. You know how much we love you. And Lee, we're going to go to you, honey. I'm pinning you right now, if you can unmute. What attracted you to saying yes? I mean, you are such a life force in this team. And just from my perspective, I think we've known each other, it's at least 3 years?
Nearly 4. Nearly 4.
I look at the woman who came in, who was a spectacular woman to begin with, and I see how you've blossomed and grown, and you are just such a force. You have this, you know, just empire now of one woman after one woman after one woman joining and saying yes. What attracted you to saying yes, and what do you love the most about this? What would you say to someone considering this?
Yeah, cool. So I'll take you back a little bit to my story before I started. So it's been nearly 4 years now, and I come from a background working in corporate IT, and I'm also a beauty therapist as well. And back then, you know, my lifestyle was totally different. I had no kids. I absolutely loved my job because I love being around people. I had flexibility to travel. I had an amazing income. But what I did know to be true was that both of those jobs that I was doing back then were working really long hours, and I just knew that it wasn't ultimately something that I could do when I had a family. That was the big keys for me. So I met my husband. We pretty quickly got married. We had babies. We bought a house, all in a really short period of time. And I became a stay-at-home mum living off just his income. And that was probably more scary for me than anything at all. It was actually more expensive for me to go back to work having 2 kids at home than it was for me to stay at home and look after the kids. So that's pretty scary. But I loved being a stay-at-home mum, don't get me wrong. But my biggest thing was that I really lost myself in that whole process. I felt like I'd lost my independence, my energy. I never really appreciated doing things that I love to do. And then I ended up getting really run down, 99 kilos, and I just felt like this massive zombie mum wandering around every day, just with no vision. I didn't know what I wanted life to be like, and I actually never really worked on anything to do to improve it. So I'd gone from having this really successful career with heaps of ambition and drive and get up and go, and then to go and sit on the lounge for like 3 weeks at a time and stress about finances. It just became a really big challenge in our life. And then I ended up being a single parent on a $440 a week income that I was trying to live on. So that was crazy. So hands up anyone who loves shopping. I love shopping. You can't shop on $440 a week. So there was this big pivot moment for me when I felt like everything had to change. And it was that we talk about decisions. And for me, that was that one moment where I really just decided that I was more than enough and I had to start working on myself. So I found this opportunity. I got to invest in my own health. I got to get fitter. I've lost 37 kilos and just really start working on this financial situation that I was in. So it's been like nearly 4 years now, and yeah, like we've achieved some pretty cool goals over the last 4 years, and I've met some amazing people. And, you know, one of the favorite things that I love to do is to travel. And in my wildest dreams, I never ever thought that I would be able to go to America for 4 weeks with no children as a single parent. I've been able to help some of my friends and family with some pretty big health challenges that they've had. And, just spend time with my grandparents and do stuff, learning to love myself again. And, somebody said to me not long ago, actually, it was last month, they said that our kids have got all of these amazing dreams of all of the places that they want to go to when they're younger. And it's our job to be able to help them create that. So last year, I asked the kids what they wanted to do, like where's their ultimate place that they would love to go to? And they said, we really would love to go to Disneyland. And that was one of my dreams. you know, we want to see the snow, go to Disneyland. So I took them to Japan. We went to the snow, and that was like our ultimate all-time favorite thing that this business has and this opportunity has given us. And, you know, it impacts so many people's lives. It's really just put me in an environment where we can master our health, our mindset, our emotions, just really to be the best mum I can be for my boys and let them have some epic goals that they can work towards for themselves.
Yay, I love it.
Yeah.
I don't even need to do too much of a wrap up today. I mean, Lee, if I'm just going to gallery view here and I look at the faces, it's these stories of why I'll never stop. And I feel like even after 10 years, I'm just getting started, because watching your adventures unfold and you go through your bucket list of what you deserve and why, and what you're pouring into your kids, you no longer have the story of a single mum. You now have a story of independent mum. And that just says it all for me. I just love it. So thank you everyone for sharing your stories today and helping us dream a little more about what if. And that all important question, I leave that with each of you too. I know you're going to have questions and we're here to answer them. We will show you every single step of the way as you need to know how to do this business. And, you know, that all important question of what if? What if this could help you bring back time flexibility? What if this could help you and your family and your kids start dreaming and creating vision boards and travel plans? What if this could start giving you back your purpose and your identity, as you heard from so many of our stories today? So thanks everyone for tuning in, and thanks for our beautiful, guest stories and presenters here. I so value everything that you're about and what you've brought for us today. Thanks everyone. See ya. Bye.